Hi everyone, Aiden here with etrailer. Today we're going to be taking a look at and showing you how to install these Pewag all-square snow tire chains on our 2023 Chevrolet Tahoe. So like the name suggests, these are going to be a square link chain. You can see that really well right here, where those links have hard edges. As opposed to something like a twist link, this is going to be a little bit more high profile, a bit more aggressive, and have a lot better bite and dig into icy situations. So if you need something that's going to be more aggressive for that inclement weather, this is a nice way to go. The ladder pattern chain is going to be a bit more bumpy ride quality, but it's going to give you better traction on starts and stops. And again, if you're in that really inclement weather, the ride quality probably isn't that much of a concern for you. You're more concerned probably about the traction. The construction here is going to be a manganese nickel alloy steel. That's going to be a little bit more durable and corrosion resistant than something like a low carbon steel, which is a bit of a softer metal. These are definitely built well and made to last for multiple seasons and some heavy use. Now there aren't any cams or anything built into the chain, so there isn't a lot of integrated tensioning. A rubber tensioner is going to be an absolute must for this to get a good fit on the tire. Not included with the kit, but we do always recommend finding them. You can just scroll down on the page to the related parts section to find the right one for your chains. There is, however, at the very bottom, a lever arm that can get some tension on the tire chain. It's just not enough to get a full tight fit without the use of an extra rubber tensioner. These do come with a bag for storage, and while this canvas bag is a little bit better than most other canvas bags that tire chains come with, at the end of the day, it's still pretty susceptible to ripping, especially with a more aggressive, heavy chain like this. I always recommend getting a plastic tote for storage just because it's going to be easier to keep them in, and it's going to keep any weather or moisture out of your car if you do choose to keep them in there. The installation process is pretty straightforward. Underneath the Tahoe, there's very limited clearance with the running board here, so it's hard to make the back connection, but overall, it's not too bad, and if you can get that first connection made, you're good to go. Let's check out how we did it. The first thing you want to do for your install is get the chains laid out and make sure that nothing's tangled up. These ones are looking pretty good right here, and then we want to check for proper orientation. Go to the cross sections of each chain where we've got these cross links at the end. Now for that, there's going to be a more hooked abrasive side. We want that face up away from the tire. And then the more smooth side we have currently face down. That'll be touching the tire, and we're going to drape it over top the tire, so that's why we've got it face down. At the end of the chain, we're also going to have a lever arm. We want that on the outside of the tire where it's going to be accessible. After we've determined that the chain is oriented properly, we can come grab it by the middle and carefully drape it over the tire. And again, if you're choosing to drive on top of the tire or on top of the tire chain, you can do that. Just get it centered up relatively evenly on both sides, front to back, side to side. And once you're happy with it, we can make our first connection around back. It's going to be pretty hard to reach back here, but on my side there's a hook, and on the side closest to the camera there's going to be a series of free links. You just want to join these two ends together, and there will be an ideal link for your tire to get the right fitment. For right now, I'm just going to go to the end link because that's really all I can reach. But if I need to come back and tighten it up later, I can. Now around front, the connection is going to be a lot easier because it's just easier to reach. Our lever arm is going to feed through one of these three links. I'm going to try to get it as snug as I can, so link number 3 is looking like the right fit for us today. I'll feed that lever arm through and fold it back on itself. Now, as I'm folding it back here, I should feel a good amount of tension being pulled on the chain. Right now, it's pretty darn snug, so I might need to loosen it up for that second link instead, just because I don't know if I can get it by hand. When I do fold it back, it'll hook onto the spare link right there. Now, as it stands right now, this is pretty loose. We don't have any cams or anything included on the chain to tighten it up, so you will definitely need to pick up a rubber tensioner. We always recommend these anyway, but for this chain, without any of the extra tensioning methods on it, it's definitely going to be needed. So apply this in a star-shaped pattern relatively evenly around the chain. You can see already how much slack that's pulling out of the chain. So we just want to go around and do that for all 6 connection points. And after checking the fitment, everything seems nice and snug. At this point, you want to install the other side, drive over them a few times, and then come out and check on the chains. As you drive, things might settle in and loosen up. If things loosen up enough, you might need to go back to the links on either the front or the back, tighten them up, and then reinstall the tensioner and get back on the road. Otherwise, then you're ready to hit the road. And that'll do it for our look and installation at the Pewag all-square snow tire chains on our 2023 Chevrolet Tahoe. Thanks for watching.